What's to you, my fellow friends, families on this special social media space? My name is Rosian Bimsela Ambade, your host on Soul Talk with Bimsela Ambade and your host on You Inspire Me International platform. I'm here to talk about something in a very short while. It's talking about public display of affection. Public display of affection. Many people, both in the marriage sector and in the relationship sector, they feel so awkward about display of affection in the public, while some do not see anything wrong about it. Whatever views you have about that, it's your personal view. It is not a generalized view, and it is not supposed to be a cultural view. Well, in many cultures of the world today, many people, many cultures have their own perception on how marriage should look like, on how they have a perception on how marriage should look like, on how relationship should be seen either in public or in private. But you see, public display of affection is not in anything or any way wrong. It depends on your choices. It depends on your perception. It depends on your cultural environment or the things that you accept in your society. It is not wrong. It is not anything wrong. If your spouse or your partner decide that he or she loves public display of affection, then give it to them. If that will save you from issues or arguments of any sort. Some people do believe if you don't want to be seen with him or her, it means that there's something fishy. So people should not be the one to determine how you should relate or behave with your spouse or with your partner in the public. Well, let me get this straight. If you are not in the marriage sector, maybe you're not married to this person, you're not husband and wife, legally married, well, public display of affection should not be a thing to practice in the open eyes of the public, not to talk less of in the secret. You know what that means? To us, we believe everything that we do should be godly and presentable and honorable. So if we're talking about those who are married here, those who are married, but then there are some people who, of course, they are in a relationship, they don't like to hug, they don't like to hold hands, they don't like to even give a peck on their cheeks. It all depends on individual, on your partners, on your spouses. So is it wrong to display public display of affection? Not at all. It is about perception. It's about the culture in wherein you find yourself. Of course, in the foreign world that we know about, it's not a big deal. But where we are right now, they're like, oh, take it slowly. People are watching you. There are kids everywhere, Then you should know what works for your society and what works for your environment. So I have come to tell you that public display of affection is not wrong and is not a bad thing if your spouse agrees to it and if your society encourages it. Find what works for you. Well, it depends on your mindset. It depends on your exposure also. Find what works for you and what works for your partner and what works for your environment. I trust that this words meets you healthy. It meets you in a good mode, because these are words that we bring for our table from the Soul Talk and from You Inspire Me International. My name still remains Bimsela Rosian Ambade, your host on Soul Talk with Bimsela Ambade and You Inspire Me International platform. Stay blessed, stay lifted, find the best thing to do with your life this season, because nothing works without you accepting the fact that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. See ya. Bye-bye.